Peter Elliott.
Yeah, Jim. I just want to put in a plea here for Actors Equity. Two New Zealand government agencies are still treating equity as pariahs in the industry that they're internationally regarded as the face of. On Tuesday the 19th, the Ministry of Economic Development and the Arts and Culture and Heritage groups are meeting in Wellington for a screen sector review. And this week a government representative rejected Equity's request to have a presence at that meeting. They won't even allow a state-honoured actor such as Dame Kate Harcourt to attend. Actors agents are not allowed to attend, and this meeting is to discuss whether the large budget screen production grant has, amongst other things, achieved its stated aims of creating additional jobs and lead to the creation of new skills and technology. And they have to discuss the Screen Production Incentive Fund. Well, these are awful titles, but they mean something to us. Whether that's achieved its stated aims of increasing medium and large scale New Zealand content and the retention of New Zealand screen talent. And I would have thought that the Equity would have been an exceptional representative to have to gauge that. Politely put, this is a somewhat glaring exclusion. The sector review is considered so sensitive that the government agencies initially said that participants would have to leave all the information behind when leaving the meeting. And given that level of importance, surely it's more than reasonable for Equity to be part of its own members' future. And they've now agreed to copy of the discussion to Equity, but with the proviso that Equity doesn't discuss those contents with its members, which is nonsensical. It's a gag order. It's unhelpful, but it's also unworkable given that Equity is its members. And as of 2:30 this afternoon, they've still failed to provide any documentation whatsoever. Now, last year it was promised that all parties participating in the screen sector evaluation, of which Equity was one, would be consulted again this year, and this has never happened. The stated aims of the MED and Arts and Culture Heritage is to provide their ministers with full and accurate info when they consider their report, and it's not actually possible when a major stakeholder has refused participation. And I'm going to put it another way. Imagine this is the wine industry, and the wine industry is to have a review of industry practices. The industry gets to import all its major grapes from offshore, but for tax purposes this is considered New Zealand wine. The New Zealand wines grown here are for domestic consumption only and only get a tenth of the subsidies that offshore New Zealand wines get. Those New Zealand grapes grown onshore are actually considered troubling to those offshore. So we produce laws and grants to protect the rights of the offshore growers. We then hold a review of the industry and refuse to allow the New Zealand wine growers to be heard or even to hear what the industry is planning. And if that sounds like a fantasy, we wish it was. In no other industry would this be tolerable, and in no other country, than the fact that you cannot get actors to a meeting about their own industry. Producers and technicians, please take note that we're on the same side. We want what you want. We actors must be allowed to participate in official discourse for the sanity, health and benefit of our own industry.
Okay, but does the Hobbit Pinot Noir 1297 also encourage the development of the growth of local grapes, and does it employ a whole lot of New Zealand workers in the vineyard?
Yes, of course it does, and it employs all sorts of people. All we want is a voice at the table to say, you know, and to say that we've come to these things, that these the large budget screen production grant and so forth has laudable aims. It has achieved certain things. So is the SPIF, the Screen Production Incentive Fund. They've all achieved their things or not achieved them, and we'd like the opportunity to talk about that. They came and asked us what we thought about it last year, and now we're not invited to the table as Equity for whatever reason. I find that
Is there still bad blood from the Hobbit?
I don't know. There shouldn't be. There's absolutely no reason. We've caused no grief or whatever. It's just that we constantly get shoved onto this back burner as some sort of troublemakers or whatever. All we are is interested in our industry.
It's bizarre inviting a whole lot of people to a meeting, isn't it, and then saying, listen, it's so hush-hush that you've got to leave everything behind and please don't tell anybody.
It is a little weird, isn't it?
Don't you wait down the track until there is something more concrete on the table that people can then discuss?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're still waiting to hear what even is going to be discussed. When, at 2:30 this afternoon, they still hadn't provided any documentation about it. It was supposedly to be given to the media and so forth, and they asked us not to say anything. Well, obviously they knew what was in it if they didn't know what we were going to say anything about. And what can we say about something we haven't heard about? I mean, it's nonsensical.
We're sorry you've raised the issue.
I'm sorry too.
Peter Elliott.